Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is Tabishima Ayede. I'm your host. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant. And what I do every day here is I solve business problems. And the problem that we're going to look at today is this. There are a lot of you who are trying to use tools that are available on social media, over the internet. You're trying to use it to promote your product, promote your service, trying to grow your business. Most of these tools have a bio section where you can enter in some details about you. And some of you are using this bio section incorrectly. You are using terms that your potential customers don't understand. You're using terms that your potential clients do not understand. And this is one of the reasons why you are being held back. Now, some of you are going to say, and they can click on my profile now, then they will see. But look, let's be real. What is going to happen is lots of people are going to see your bio. The bio will not make sense. Most people will move on. So yes, they have the ability to click on the profile and see everything. But honestly speaking, if it's on LinkedIn, most people will just look at the LinkedIn. They'll see the profile picture, they'll see the header, they'll see the bio. They will decide based on that. Don't expect that most people are going to click through and say, oh, this is it that the person does. So, same thing with your Instagram, same thing with your WhatsApp, same thing with your Twitter, same thing with your every. So, that is the problem that we are trying to solve today over here on the podcast. By the way, shout out to Tolu Lokwe. I'm not going to give your full name because I'm using you as a case study and I didn't get your permission. But anyway, Tolu Lokwe, his phone number ends with 4164. Just in case you're a Tolu Lokwe who is listening and you're not sure if I'm talking about you. If your phone number ends with 4164, then yeah, you're the one that I'm talking about. So the things that I'm talking about here are meant primarily for you. But I'm hoping that in this conversation that we're going to have, okay, well, if you can call this a conversation, that other people who listen to the podcast are going to be able to learn and get value from it as well. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, so then if you'd like to connect, just like Tolu Lokwe did, the number to call to send a text message or a WhatsApp message to is 080-6466-2140. Also, for those of you who don't have 20-30 minutes to listen to podcast episodes every single day, all you do is you send me a WhatsApp message. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. Then from the WhatsApp group, you will get the PDF summaries that I make every single day. Each PDF document is less than 5 pages. You can read it in between 3 to 5 minutes and you'll get caught up to speed. You will get the full gist about what we discussed over here on the podcast and you'll be able to learn at a quick rate so that when you have much more time, you can come back here and listen to the longer episodes. So, let's proceed. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so Tolu Lokwe and a couple of other people who are listening. Some of you are not helping yourselves because you're using terms, you're using words, you're using expressions, you're using acronyms, you're using slang, you're using all kinds of things that people who could be your potential customer don't understand. I made lots of podcast episodes about this, taking shots at people in the web development community. You know, all of you who say I'm front-end, back-end developer, UI, UX, JavaScript, something. I was having a chat with someone, and by the time I pushed and I pressed a little bit, he admitted that, yeah, what we do is we design mobile apps, you know, for consulting businesses. And I was like, you see, I am someone who could be a potential customer of yours. But because your Instagram handle is screaming front-end, back-end developer, Java, UI script, something, blah, 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 there is no way that ordinary people like me, or like my mom, or like my wife, will know that you could be a solution provider that we're looking for. Now, my brother studied information systems management. Now, because he did that, my brother is familiar with those terms. Then there are other people in that kind of trade, you know, who know all those terms mean. So, except if you're trying to sell to people like my brother, who studied info systems, and you're trying to sell to other web developers, if it's other people like me that you're talking to, all that front end, back end, JavaScript, UI, UX, Omni, whatever, it's not helping you. So for Tolulokwe, he described himself as a formation architect. I'm not going to go into anything here, but let me just stop for now. Okay? Tolulokwe described himself as a formation architect. Now, you listening to the podcast right now, Tolu is not going to get it because, how do I put it? It's him. When we do something, we are, because it makes sense to us, we just assume it will make sense to everybody. But for the rest of you listening, while I continue with this episode, please keep asking yourself, what is a formation architect? Who is a formation architect? What does a formation architect do? I just want to show you guys that I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill. Because at the end of the day, when I reveal to you what he means by formation architect, lots of you are going to be surprised. But, I want to prove the point. So I'll just continue with the podcast episode. But just for now, remember, Tolulokwe said he is a formation architect. Okay. So, like I mentioned now, there is a bio section in all these social media tools that we use nowadays. Now, the purpose of the bio section, whether you use Instagram, whether you use WhatsApp, whether you use LinkedIn, whether you use Twitter, whether you use, every, there are different reasons for using that. So I've listed out a couple. Number one, the bio is supposed to spell out your value proposition. The bio is also supposed to help with search and discoverability, which is one thing that we forget when we come up with all these cute, interesting terms. Then the bio is supposed to help with social proof and credibility. Then the bio is also supposed to help with your brand voice or the tone, the way that you want people to address you. So I'm going to take some time and explain all these things. But remember, for the purposes of this particular podcast episode, a bio, the reason why we have a bio on Instagram, or on WhatsApp, or on LinkedIn, or on Twitter, or on TikTok, or on whichever platform exists nowadays. Forgive me, I'm completely off social media now, so I don't know what's going on in that particular part of the world. So the reason why we have all those things is, number one, we put our value proposition out there. Number two, we help with search and discoverability. We give some social proof, and then we help establish a brand voice. Now, value proposition just means your expertise. Simple. People should see your profile and then they should know, oh, that's what this person does. If they are scrolling, and they see something, let's say, and they see, they see garment architect. If you put garment architect on your profile and the person sees that, okay, they'll scroll and then they will continue. Because what does a garment architect mean? But if you put there fashion stylist, oh, that is different. Anybody that is in that mind frame or that needs a couple of things, like my wife now, for instance, my wife will now know that, okay, let me click on this thing. It says fashion stylist. So when you hear fashion stylist, you kind of know what that person is on about. But if you put garment architect, for someone who is like my wife, who doesn't mind looking for good tailors, how is she supposed to know exactly what it is that you do? How is she supposed to know your area of expertise? So the first reason why we have a bio is, number one, expertise. The value proposition. Value proposition just means, who are you? How do you help people? Your bio should answer that question. Who are you and how do you help people? If you say garment architect, you didn't add anything else. It's a bit confusing. It sounds clever. Yes. That whole thing of brand voice. So it shows that you're a witty individual, but people don't understand what it is that you do. Now, fashion stylist. Okay, that sounds too boring. Everybody's fashion stylist. Well. Anyway, I understand. I feel your pain. So how about garment architect? I am an avant-garde fashion stylist who helps forward and future thinking Nigerians achieve their, I don't know, their stylist ambitions or whatever. But the thing is, when you put it like that, garment architect, then you add that qualifier, you now see that people can begin to understand, like, oh, this is who this person is, this is what they do, this is their area of expertise. Then people also forget the search and discoverability function for the bio. Because it is information that we've put up there, if somebody is searching on LinkedIn for architects or carpenters or whatever, that is also something that the algorithm is going to crawl, or that the algorithm is going to search to deliver up results. So if people search for certain kinds of things when they're looking for fashion stylists, but on your profile, you are not using those terms and those words that people usually use when describing or when searching for fashion stylists, how do you expect that when somebody searches on Instagram for a fashion stylist that they will see you? Or that when people search for a water development consultant on LinkedIn, that they will see you. So on LinkedIn, in your bio, if you just put Thirst Architect, how is somebody supposed to know that you are in the developmental space and what you do is you provide reliable dams and boreholes and water infrastructure? How is somebody supposed to know if what you write there is Thirst Architect? Thirst Architect sounds clever, but nobody knows what that means. And if people search, because you're looking for a water developmental specialist, if people search, does it improve the chances of you showing up? So to improve search and discoverability, please make sure that you use relevant keywords that people are expecting, people are looking for when they run the search to find a professional like you. Then we can also use our bio for social proof. Social proof just means you're showing everybody that, look, this is who people say I am. Like, I'm a correct guy. I'm a correct girl. This is who they say I am. So if you have, special titles or publications or achievements, yeah, you can put them in the bio. So, engineer, doctor, whatever, 4 times author, quoted on Channels TV, so like all of that, yeah, it's okay. Whatever it is that you can put out there that gives you some proof, some credibility that this is who people say I am. So like me now, for instance, if I put business consultant and regular contributor at Channels on Channels TV, how do I put it now? Okay, sorry, let me rewind. Okay, so I put sales consultant and regular contributor on Channels TV. You can see now that I'm forming small pedigree. That I'm not just any kind of sales consultant, but at Channels TV, they always call me. So I'm flexing. Social proof, credibility. We can do that. By the way, Channels TV hasn't called me for anything. But just in case you work with Channels TV or any other TV station. Excuse me. So you work with Channels TV, any other TV station, and you are impressed by what you hear over here. Give me a call. Holler your boy now. I would love to be a resource person for your TV station so that on your business segments, we can troubleshoot and solve business problems for the average Nigerian. So use the bio for social proof as well. Then the whole point of this social proof and credibility that basically builds trust. So when people see that I'm not just an anyhow kind of consultant, but that Channels TV has called me, CNN has called me, NTA has called me, they'll now know that, correct, this guy is a correct guy. So if I now tell them that, okay, your bill is 25 million, they'll just pay. They'll say, why? Because, he's on CNN. So they'll pay. Then, the brand voice. Too many of us are getting carried away by the brand voice. So when you say you're a Thirst Architect or a Formation Architect or a Garment Architect, then, people can see that, okay, this guy is quirky, this guy is clever. So that one is good because when they pick up the phone, the way you present yourself is the way that they'll follow you and be talking. So it's all good. But just remember the other 3 purposes. If we don't understand what the term means, if we don't understand the value proposition, if we don't know what your expertise is, if when we search for you, you will not even show up, and then you're not even putting any social proof or credibility there, then to what end? Okay, this guy is a quirky individual, but I don't know what he does. I just scroll and then I move. Now, for Tolulope, I clicked on his profile because I'm in sales. I talk to people a lot and I investigate. The average person who is going to be your customer is not going to be clicking through on your profile. I can assure you. They won't. But anyway, these are the key things when we're talking about the bio. Now, we've been talking for about 15 minutes. I hope you guys have been thinking. I hope you've been thinking. And I'm wondering, what do you think information architect is? Let me give you a few seconds. Just say the word down in your own brain before I tell you actually what a solution architect is. Sorry, formation architect. Formation architect, not solution architect. So, I asked him what's a formation architect, and he responded. We chatted a bit, and he spoke about narrative, he spoke about storytelling, and he spoke about shaping culture. Now let me pause. Somebody says he's a formation architect, and he talks about narrative, storytelling, and shaping culture. Do you still know what this individual does? Even after he added that he's a formation architect, he works in narrative and storytelling and shaping culture. I still did not know, what does this guy do? I need to ask again, but I said no problem, let me just click through on the profile. So I clicked. Guess what he does? He does marketing and online advertising. Now, for those of you who decided to follow me on this exercise, be honest with yourself. When I said formation architect at the beginning of the episode, did your mind go anywhere near digital marketing, near online advertising? Did it? So, Tolulope, I'm not trying to drag you, so no vex. I'm just trying to make this point in very clear terms so that you get it, and also to kind of warn other people who make this mistake that you do. So if you're having problems with lead generation, I won't be surprised if this is one of the problems. You're talking about yourself on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on Google My Business, on Twitter, on Reddit, on whatever, and you're telling people that you're a formation architect. Unfortunately, my brother, nobody knows what a formation architect is, what a formation architect does. So go and look at your bio again. What is your value proposition? What's your area of expertise? Who are you? How do you help people? If people are searching on certain kinds of platforms, what keywords do you think they use to search? And what would you like people to see your profile for when they search on these platforms? Then, if you have any social proof or credibility, can you put it there? Satisfy those three first. After that, you can now worry about being quirky and being creative and being being unique. So that's it. It's been 20 minutes. Let me bring it to a close. So again, shout out to Tolulope. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. And thank you very much for reaching out. I'm going to send you the link shortly so you can join the WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group just like Tolulope, then call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you all some other time.